I still feel wood was much better than aluminium or steel. There is nothing which has been equivalent which has come in to replace what was old. But in terms of technology, we have improved. Yes, we say about 15 years ago, we never had one single concrete pump. Today, a site doesn't start without a concrete. In terms of shuttering technologies, we have improved. In terms of how we design the building, we have made drastic improvements. We tied up with a Singapore company to do pre-stressing, which we are doing extensively in IT buildings. We were again pioneers there in that as well. In fact, the building which we built in Bombay, which is a Ruby Towers, which is a 45-story building, many must have seen as you go on the railway line or on the Tilak Bridge. In that building, that was the first building which we also won the Builders Association Award as the best equipped building, where the site was modeled as a site in Singapore or Dubai. It had two cranes. In fact, we had to put anti-collision devices so that the crane moves well, because the site was small. But we had to have two cranes because one crane was not able to reach every portion. So we had to put anti-collision devices first time to see that it doesn't collude because the path was the same. Part of the path was same. And we had imported the cutting bending machine erected at site. We had boom cranes which are erected. All these were also done. And apart from that, I don't think there is big technology which has come into construction industry. The only thing remaining today in India is the difference. Again, I will tell you is world over, most of the places, I would say, it is buildings are erected, not built. That's the only way we can achieve speed. That's the only way we can achieve real quality. For that, it has to again come back to regulations, government norms. Today, we have at least half a dozen precast factories within Pune who are not having business. Because what is happening is the cost of a precast item compared to what it is coming from factory to what I can do at site, almost at same speed, is much cheaper. So this is because when you do it in the factory, there is excise, there is sales tax, there is all these taxes add up to that cost, and he has never, that chicken and egg story, he has not reached that volume for him to be economical. So as a result, today we still get labor. It will happen when labor, to what we were doing before to what we are today, there is a big difference. If still labor starts becoming, then the precast will get it.
Good evening. Nice inspiring story. I would like to know, as you are in Pune and you have been in Pune building, what is your thought about future of Pune in the next 5-10 years? Thank you.
Any city for real growth will depend very much on the administrative support or the political support. Unless infrastructure really matches up, any growing city will die if matching infrastructure support does not happen. Coincidentally for us, and luckily for us in Pune, in terms of there are major infrastructure which are, I would say, well in place. Take for instance the water supply. Correct? Luckily Pune is endowed with lakes all around, and the distribution system is not bad. In fact, it is good, I would say. So on that front, they are able to catch up. But on roads, on public transport, for city to grow beyond a point, public transport is a must. You cannot depend on, in fact, there has to be, like Singapore, there has to be, taxation on private things. Unless, and that can only happen if the public transport equivalent is available. So for that city to grow, and there is a misnomer everywhere, people think vertical growth means killing of, its dense. If you have planned vertical growth, it's the most economical way of growth, because within that much density, you are able to serve that entire portion. What is required is matching drainages, matching power supplies, matching water supplies, and matching transport systems. So suppose it's better off to stay in 1 square kilometer with say 10,000 people, I'm just giving off numbers, than in 5 square meter people staying, because the logistics of all those people coming in, traveling and everything is going to be much more difficult. So this, people have this misnomer in terms of thinking, if it becomes denser, it is bad. Actually it is good, but it has to be matched by infrastructure.
Also, just imagine you are coming out of college today and you want to be a builder. What are the plus points today and what are the negative points today?
I wouldn't say that there is negative points. I would put it this way, there are challenges. Correct? It was there before, it was different type of challenges. It is there today, it is different type of challenges. And I think in any business, without challenges, you will not going to get. And for an entrepreneur, he has to, how adaptable he is there to challenges and how proactive is there in anticipating it and coming out of it is more important. See, a dynamic approach is what is required in any business.
There's a general belief that the real estate prices never come down. Now with the crude, which is a cost multiplier at the level of 30, and steel being at the rock bottom, I mean it's almost like lowest in the last 25 years. Do you see a possibility now going forward that the real estate prices should also come down?
I should not be in business.
No.
Jokes apart. See, logically speaking, real estate prices have to come down. But if you see the track record, it has never happened. There are temporary bumps, that's it, but it has never happened. And this is mainly because of multiple reasons. And a few of the important reasons is the mindset. People, like gold, they want to hold. So today, if you ask any finance guy, it is stupid to buy a house. At 2% you can rent the same house. Why should you buy a house? But will we accept it? All of us want that psychological support of wanting to own a house. And that's why we are there. All of you start thinking otherwise, then we will be out of business. So we are lucky that you all have that attitude. But that is there. That is one of the main reasons that the housing prices keep on going. See, we cannot increase the price. Please understand. It is wrong to blame a builder increasing a price. You come and pay me today 100 rupees. Tomorrow he comes and offers me 125. I am a fool to say no. Okay, that's how it happens. Of my own, how can I increase the price if there are no buyers?
No, but there is a general feeling, and I'm not saying about any particular organization. There's a general feeling that there's a tremendous amount of hoarding, which is not done by the customer, but done by the builders. And in anticipation that market is going to look up, the demand is going to be high, and that time I'm going to charge a premium. My question is coming from a different background, because up till now it was okay, because the costs were high in the past. But today you are in a different scenario, because your steel cost is down, your crude, which is a cost multiplier, is also down. In view of that, will the builders per se will really be in a position to hold the inventory for a long time? That's the question. Thank you.
Again, it is you should understand how this industry works. This industry is completely financed by unorganized sectors. This does not get. It is today also very, very difficult for a bank who is willing to come and finance you. Very, very surprising, because I say this and I tell many my bankers, I go to a bank with a project report of putting up an industry, and I tell you big giants have done it. I don't have land. I don't know what is the spelling of the industry which I am putting up. And I make a beautiful project report. I make lovely Excel sheets and I make presentations, and I say my profitability is so much going to happen in year 3, and I go public. My 10 rupee share is at 150 rupees. What is my track record? I have done something before, right? But today what is my track record on this particular industry? I don't know. Whereas here I am coming with you with my land, which is owned by me, and I am asking you finance for my construction, and I am giving you guarantees in terms of bookings which I have to repay your loan. So there is receivables, there is assets backed, and there is a project which is on. Bank will say no to me and bank will say yes to the other guy. So that's how it is. So
Your last question.
yeah.
Okay, Vasu, great talk so far. I have got a question which is relevant to startups and to entrepreneurs. Incidentally, in the TIE Nurture program, till the last 4 years, we've had 2 companies which are construction related, interestingly. So this is a question driven out of what do you see are the opportunities for young entrepreneurs in the construction industries today? Maybe you can just talk about 2 or 3 areas where entrepreneurs could be offering solutions, services, products, which you feel are very, very relevant and not really available today.
If they are looking at opportunities of developing a building, they have opportunities because the market is very huge. What they need to really focus on is how are they going to target and what's the mix and where their location. It's pure, you have heard this, location. And that's very, very true in our industry. Beyond that now location, what is important is what's the target you are looking at and what's the mix you are looking at and whether that location is suitable to that. This is a very key decision for any entrepreneur when he enters. And here the thread in terms of the thread is there is no going back once you have started your work. You cannot convert a 2-bedroom to a 1-bedroom. And neither can you do a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. So you need to be very sharp in this, and that will come not to all people. That has to. There is certain amount of gut feeling. There is certain amount of analysis. A calculated risk, I would say. It's how it needs to come. So it depends. Opportunities are huge, I would say. People want a good product, and they want in time. So if you are organized yourself, and unfortunately, for fresh entrepreneurs in the line of real estate, there are not startup funds ready in line to give funding. Right? So, your fund is very crucial. And today, it is not a day for a new person that he thinks that he puts his board and he can get money. Like what we used to do, we used to just conceptualize the project and there was no cash flow issues.
Yeah, so I was wanting to go outside just construction and saying other areas that a young company could offer solutions, services or products to the construction industry and grow a business out of that.
Yeah, basically it is within the, now whatever the smart cities are being planned. So the technology inputs within those smart cities. There are innumerable options available within the industry for a home automation systems to being really today's tech friendly houses, which has got still opportunity. It is moving at a good pace, but still I would say it can move at much faster pace.
Vasu, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was very So let me first thank Vasu for being here and sharing his ideas, perspectives, experiences for all of us. And I'm sure some of this goes beyond real estate. For example, gut feel is needed in every business. So it's important to have that. I want to thank all of you for being here, and I'm sure you've enjoyed the session. And I also want to thank our Thai office for putting this all together. There's a lot of work after taking over from Vishwas. I have a huge realization of Vishwas and the team, the amount of stuff that they were doing. So thank to the Thai office. And I also want to mention one thing, that we have a Thai global trustee with us now. So thank you for being here, Vishwas. Thank you. And we have some guests here. So if you're not a member of Thai, like he said that Vascon happened to him, let Thai happen to you. Thank you and good night.